Chapter 2, Ethics, Professionalism, and Legal Issues. I think the best way to give you a general overview of this chapter is to give you the chapter outline. It starts out with what is ethics and scope of practice, evidence-based and evidence-informed practice, informed consent, confidentiality, issues around insurances and HIPAA, professional boundaries, the therapeutic relationship, ethics and decision making, communication skills, including conflict management, credentialing and licensing, and then dealing with unethical behavior or illegal behavior of massage therapists. This particular chapter sets forth a language, an ethical language and a professional language for the students. And it started it out with actually defining the words in the introduction of the chapter. The chapter is set up to ask more questions than to provide a lot of answers. So it's put there where it is as part of the clinical reasoning process to help students begin the idea of formulating a question that can lead to useful answers. So this is the very beginning of the critical thinking process and then how we would move that into a clinical reasoning process. There are lots of examples, and Luke just told me you can't see it very well, but I think you can see that these are blue. There are a lot of boxes that actually provide scripts and examples, and the code of ethics is through here, and students need that in the beginning. They can't necessarily come off of the cuff, so to say, and have discussions with clients about transference and countertransference and boundaries and what is in their scope of practice and what they can and cannot do, and how to communicate that to a client. So this chapter sets it up so all of those areas are covered. Now, as far as the NCLEX exam is concerned, this is a high priority. So it's one that you would want to encourage, and if it's a student listening to this or a practitioner that is using this as a platform to bring themselves up to speed, we're out of practice for a long time, and things change and we're not aware of it, so that's a good use of the textbooks. It gives you a chance to explore where are the ambiguities, how do you be comfortable with that, and how do you come to workable solutions in a way that you can justify it and also be able to move into a change process as situations evolve. If there is a downside on this particular chapter, is that there's some content that is easy to illustrate with diagrams. There's some content that is easy to illustrate with pictures. But what each of the chapters has done is it's a large content area, but it is broken then up into headings with smaller chunks of that content. And as far as reading is concerned, as they go through that, the reading time that a student would take is somewhere around 15 minutes. And then there's some sort of an activity that they can do to help move the information from short-term memory to long-term memory. So the book lends itself to that understood limit on how much people can retain by reading. And this setup occurs throughout all of the books. And again, as we get to the end of it, we've got that new question feature that I hope is helpful to stimulate discussion, and that it's important that you not only know what the right answer is, but have discussion around why the wrong answers are wrong.